kami, ang panawagan namin ay for the Senate to outrightly dismiss this because it's void ab initio, so to speak. Mali na mula sa umpisa pa. There is abuse of discretion, there is abuse of authority, they overstep their function, their mandate just to merely initiate the impeachment complaint, but they have resorted to a full-blown trial, which is the sole power of the Senate as an impeachment court.
Opo. At siyempre ngayon ang Kongreso ay abala din isa sa mga pinagtutuunan nila itong kaso naman ng impeachment, itong mga impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ano po ba ang inyong pananaw hinggil nga dito sa pagpapa-impeach sa pangalawang Pangulo?
Unang-una, gusto kong sabihin na ako yung isa sa mga intervenors sa case na na-file ni Vice President Sara Duterte at ang grupo ni Attorney Israelito Torion sa Supreme Court. Intervenor meaning we are supporting this case filed by BP and the group of Attorney Torion. Dahil sa nakikita po natin, kita ng publiko na mayroon pong grave abuse of discretion at abuse of power ng mga members ng Justice Committee ng House of Representatives. At maliban doon, talagang they usurp the function of the Senate, which is the sole body to judge, to try, etc., etc. But the Senate, the only function of the lower house, I should say, is supposed to initiate. But what they did now is that it's not initiation anymore. It was usurpation of the powers of the Senate, and it acted as if they are the prosecutor, the judge, the jury, and conducted a full-blown trial, which is a grave abuse of authority and resulting to the abuse of or violation of the Constitution. So with due respect to the members of the House Committee on Justice, as a former member also of the House of Representatives, talagang nag-overstep sila. What they did is out of bounds. So they even issued subpoena using sui generis as an excuse, resulting to fishing expedition, adding evidence adding evidence to the complaint, the more evidence that are not attached to the complaint filed by the complainants.
Mm-hmm.
So sumubra talaga sila. That's why we cannot agree to that.
Opo. Paano ho yan ay idineklara na po nilang may probable cause itong mga impeachment complaints laban sa Vice President. Ibig sabihin, may sapat na ebidensya daw itong mga complaint na ito laban sa pangalawang Pangulo.
Okay lang yun sa amin kung dumaan sa tamang proseso. Of course, ang function nila is to initiate. Titingnan nila kung mayroong substance talaga, sufficient in substance, ang complaint, and yun na sana, tama na yun. They could have submitted that to plenary already and for the plenary to decide. At kung ang plenary will agree to their observation or evaluation that there is really sufficiency in substance, then they have to transmit it to the Senate. Pero ang ginawa nila, it's a full-blown trial, which is overstepping and usurpation of the power of the Senate as the sole body to try the impeachment case. So yun ang contention namin. Kaya hopefully, hindi pa naman late, baka yung Supreme Court mag-intervene at gawing unconstitutional. They have to rule this as an unconstitutional. The process the lower house has done is unconstitutional. Maliban doon, we are also calling on the Senate to uphold the Constitution and dismiss these tainted articles of impeachment once it reaches their doorstep. Dahil may kasabihan tayo, we cannot eat the fruit of a poison. We cannot eat ano ba yun? We cannot eat the fruit of a poison tree. Okay? So from the very beginning, talagang mali na talaga ang nangyari in terms of process and the parameters of their functions and mandate.
Pero maliban po doon sa proseso, kung tama ba o hindi, doon po sa issue mismo na kanila pong, o mga alegasyon na kanila pong inihahayag, katulad na lamang po dito sa maling paggamit daw ng confidential at intelligence funds ng Office of the Vice President at maging yung mga inilahad o binulgar na mga kahinahinalang transaksyon di umano ng pangalawang Pangulo at hindi may paliwanag na yaman. At yung pagkabigo din daw ng pangalawang Pangulo na i-disclose sa ang kanyang tamang statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth. Ano ho ang inyong pananaw dito? Kabilang na yung kanyang pagbabanta doon umano doon sa buhay ng Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at ng kanyang pamilya.
Basically, the Vice President is very clear on that. Sabi niya, sasagutin niya lahat ito, isa-isa, at the right forum or in the right forum, which is the Senate. Pero at the level of the House Committee on Justice, hindi nila function yung busisiin lahat ito dahil that is outside of their mandate. Ika nga. Kaya hindi siya sumipot doon. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na takot siya o may tinatago siya. Sabi niya, at the right time, at the right forum, sasagutin natin isa-isa yan. So, sa tingin ko, everything as far as these issues against the Vice President the documents, for example, are all above board. They can, her lawyers, including herself, can explain this for as long as the venue is in order or right, like what I've said, the Senate. So, I cannot comment on the validity of the SALN because I have not seen it. Yung kanyang grave threat naman, sabi niya, is there a crime when you threat or sorry, is there a crime from the grave? Yan ang sabi niya. Conditional yung kanyang threat. Kung sakaling papatayin siya o pinatay siya, at least mayroon ng taong napagsabihan niya upang maghiganti para sa kanya. At ang sample nga niya dito ay yung case ni Ninoy Aquino. Si Ninoy Aquino pinatay sa tarmac at hindi talaga siya nakapaghiganti dahil wala siyang habilin sa mga tao na pwedeng maghiganti sa kanya. So, much as I want to uh, discuss this in details, pero I leave that to the lawyers and the discretion of the Vice President to make an accurate answer in all these accusations.
Opo, doon sa grave threats, Doc, sa issue ng grave threats o pagbabanta nga sa buhay ng Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr., doon po sa kanilang video na ipinakita, kung na-monitor po ninyo, sinasabi po na ilang mamabatas na spliced. O, dahil kaya, spliced at hindi buo yung ipinakita pong video tungkol nga po doon sa sinabi ng Vice Presidente laban sa Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. Kung garon, kayo ho ba naniniwala doon na splice at kung sakali mang splice nga yung video at out of context nga, ano ho magiging implikasyon?
It depends kung ano yung ibig mong sabihin na splice. Kung ang ibig mong sabihin splice ay kulang, hindi na ipalabas yung full video, it becomes favorable to the accuser. So hindi natin gusto mangyari yun. Kaya dapat ipinalabas yung kabuuan ng video para makikita mo yung konteksto. So, kung yung aspect lang or portion ng video that will be beneficial to the accuser, parang splice nga yun dahil kulang. So, kung i-present mo yung buong video, then you'll get the whole context. The whole thing will be put in context at makikita mo may dahilan siya kung bakit siya nakapagsabi ng ganon. So, kaya napakaselan po yung mga ganito dahil makikita mo yung bias. Bias yung members ng House Committee on Justice. Bakit nila i-entertain yung ganon na alam naman nila na bias talaga. Halimbawa, katulad nung ipinalabas ng NBI, bakit hindi nila ipinalabas yung buong video? Ano bang motibo doon? So, ang motibo doon is just to pin down the Vice President. Hindi pinakikita yung katotohanan, which is napakalungkot po yung ganon. Kasi para sa akin, this is the whole process is being done just to pin down the Vice President to block her way to 2028.
Opo. Ngayon na nakalusot na nga sa committee level itong ang mga impeachment complaints laban sa Vice President at this May, mga Mayo 11 ata, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, pagbobotohan na ng plenaryo ng House of Representatives itong ang impeachment complaints para po umusad na sa Senado. Sa tingin ho ba ninyo, Doc, may sapat na bilang ang Kongreso para ipasa o ilusot itong impeachment complaints o mga articles of impeachment laban sa Vice President?
Sa tingin ko, mayroong konting problema yung House of Representatives kaya idinidelay nila yung proseso ng hearing at nag-gather sila ng mga unauthorized evidence dahil gusto nilang i-precondition yung mind ng ng publiko na talagang mayroong masamang ginawa si BP Sara at nang sa ganon ay at the same time ma-convince nila yung ibang members ng Kongreso na dapat bumoto in favor of the articles of impeachment dahil pinakita nila na maraming ang allegations laban kay BP Sara. So, but on the other hand, mayroon din tayong mga narinig na they cannot really muster the necessary number para ito ay ma-approve, ma-endorse or ma-approve ng plenary at thereby endorsing the same to the or transmitting the same to the Senate. So yan yung manner yan. We'll just wait until they finally make the decision at the level of the plenary.
Opo.
Pero marami talaga nagsasabi na baka kulang yung number nila.
Pero meron ho ba kayong nakakausap din sa loob ng House of Representatives, Doc, bilang isang mambabatas din, kung ano po ang kanilang pananaw hinggil nga dito? Yung mga kongresista po, mga kilala po ninyo, mga kaibigan po ninyo, ano po yung mga pananaw nila hinggil po dito sa issue na yan?
Basically kami from the DDS-Saraol, mayroon kaming panawagan na dapat talaga hindi sila bumoto dahil hindi namin sila bobotohan o iboboto pagdating ng 2028 election. So sila naman ay may positive response to this. At maraming talagang hindi responsive na pag-endorse ng articles of impeachment. Kasi nga ito ay isang political vendetta at apektado naman yung credibility nila sa mga constituency nila kapag susuportahan nila. So hopefully they walk their talk na hindi nila susuportahan yung endorsement ng articles of impeachment.
Kung sakali mang maprobahan nga dyan sa Kamara at iaakit nga yung kaso niyan sa Senado na magsisilbing impeachment court para nga sa formal na paglilitis, Doc, agad-agad ay sisimulan na ng Senado o itinuturing na impeachment court yung paglilitis nga sa kaso na ito ng Vice President. Lalo na may desisyon na po ang Supreme Court tungkol nga po doon sa salitang forthwith. Doc, ano po ba ang masasabi po ninyo?
We have to leave that to the Senate as the impeachment court. May definition naman yung Supreme Court sa sa word na term na forthwith. Depende daw sa situation. So we cannot compel the Senate to act on it. They have their own internal rules, impeachment rules. They have to see to it that their act will be consistent with their impeachment rules and the rules of the Senate for that matter. So, but kami, ang panawagan namin ay for the Senate to outrightly dismiss this because it's void ab initio, so to speak. Mali na mula sa umpisa pa. There is abuse of discretion. There is abuse of authority. They overstep their function, their mandate, just to merely initiate the impeachment complaint, but they have resorted to a full-blown trial, which is the sole power of the Senate as an impeachment court. So, yun ang panawagan namin sa Senate because they cannot be part of a process na mali mula sa umpisa. Otherwise, they will be charged of legitimizing something that is wrong from the very beginning.
Pero, Doc, may pahayag po yung Senate President mismo. Iginit po ni Senate President Tito Soto na agad kikilos po yung Senado kapag natanggap nga itong articles of impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte, kung saan nga, ang sabi ayon sa kanya, ang forthwith ay nangangahulugang kinabukasan agad. Yung komento po.
Well, it depends on him. If that's his appreciation of the word forthwith, we can only do so much. But there are 24 members of the Senate. So that will be subjected to a extensive deliberation, debate. So at the end of the day, pagbubotohan nila yan. Pero as I've said, bukas, susunod na araw, dapat consistent sa kanilang impeachment rules and rules of the Senate. Yun lang yun. But kami, ang panawagan namin talaga ay for the well-meaning members of the Senate, dapat outright dismissal itong articles of impeachment once akyat sa kanila. Dahil nga, may grave abuse of discretion, it's unconstitutional, and there's usurpation of their power as a impeachment court. So, tuloy-tuloy kami sa panawagan namin sa Senate. Alam namin, maraming well-meaning senators and they don't want to be part of a process that is wrong or mali mula sa umpisa pa.